Early French explorers gave us our word prairie, which means something roughly equivalent to meadow. But a prairie is much more than a word. It is a living community of plants and animals and soil. It is wind and water and time. It is Missouri history. Prairie once meant lordly elk. It was wolves denning in the coulees. It was coyotes seeking a living off small mammals. It was the shaggy bison which dominated the sea of grass. Today, the most spectacular surviving wildlife is the prairie chicken, which has become symbolic of all that once meant prairie to Missouri's first men. The Indian was a part of yesterday's prairie, and he took his livelihood from its bounty. Some of his dances mimic the strut and stamp of his wild neighbors, the prairie chickens. We've changed all that. The wild Indian is gone, as the buffalo are gone. As the great flights of waterfowl splashing in the prairie marshes are gone, almost. Elk and bison gave way to domestic livestock. Prairie sod to corn, wheat, and oats. Almost, but not quite. And the almost is what this film is about. We can yet save some of our precious native prairie. With each sunrise in spring, prairie chickens come together in an ancient mating ritual reaching back to the first dawn. The birds gather on high places in the prairie, traditional spots known as booming grounds. Here, each male stakes out a breeding territory which he defends against rival neighbors. The most aggressive birds get the most desirable territories. The male's courtship display is vigorous, rapidly stamping his feet up and down in a dance, and then uttering his powerful three-note boom. In April, females come onto the breeding grounds and mating takes place. On early spring mornings, calls can be heard several miles across the prairie, a sound once as common as today's roar of the tractor. The antics of prairie chickens amuse the Indian, and were obvious inspirations for some of his wilder dances. The prairie stands brazenly exposed in all its floral glory to sun and wind. Its showy flowers dress up the grassy landscape through spring, summer, and fall. Phlox and Indian paintbrush rear gaudy blossoms to the sky. Compass plant nods to its neighbor purple gayfeather, and both blow in the prairie wind. But above all, a prairie is grass. The dominant grasses are blue stems and Indian grass, but a host of others, dropseed, switchgrass, grama, 3-on, and purple top, add their wealth to the prairie sod. It was the soil's wealth that presaged the doom of the great Missouri prairies. It took 25 million years to bring the prairie to the stage where we found it. But we let it slip away, day by day, at first to moldboard plow and oxen, then to strip mine, highway, and housing development. Is it not sad to think that we may be the last generation of Missourians to have an opportunity to see and hear the ancient dance of the prairie chicken? We may well be, unless we act now to ensure the prairie's survival and the perpetuation of the wild things that are a part of this living community.